Welcome back, my friends. I turned on the wrong camera, but that's all right. I was ready for it either way. Thank you for standing by. Thank you for letting me have a short break there. Um, Sparrow says, this track now reminds me of when I was in Hungary last. The weather was freezing outside. We were walking around in bathrobes and swimming in naturally heated baths. Between the nothing and eating amazing foods, I squeezed in a chance to redo the volume levels and change a few other things with the mix of this track, with earphones, mind you, which was probably a bad idea. Sounding okay on my laptop speakers now, though. It sounds wonderful to me, Sparrow. I think it fits the theme for the snowy, wintry weather perfectly. All right, let's get my big hat out of the way. I got some coffee. I'm ready to hit reset. Lost the audio there for a moment, but we found it. All right, we'll keep trying. I have to say, that I am so extraordinarily happy to with the decision that I made to switch to wearing this robe as my uniform for the stream. I know it'd be a lot cooler of me if I know I'd be playing it a lot cooler if I didn't draw so much attention to it, but I'm so happy with the decision. And then there's just a tinge of sadness at the thought that the novelty will wear off. And I don't want to fast forward to that future. I could have sworn I pinged you about that. I checked my messages and apparently I didn't. I did think about that. Throughout at least once or twice today, but it wasn't not convenient times to send it to you. It's like we're playing a game of mental phone tag. Greg saw it and really wants one too. Yeah, drop me a whisper or a DM, and I'll be happy to send you a link, Sparrow. It kind of feels wrong. It's like it's your thing now. Well, just promise me you won't wear it on stream, and then we'll be solid. You said the same thing. Neither of us stream at all. You made the same joke. Nobody has to know I'm a terrible copycat. Hopefully this won't be the deathless run and forever preserve your copycatness. It was a given, right? Part of the unspoken code. I wouldn't consider it a copycat move, Sparrow. I would interpret it as a very flattering cosplay. I could do a Frownie cosplay stream. I mean, all you have to do is play games very poorly and keep saying, "Oh no." Yep, again, we make the same joke. We're thinking on the same level. I don't know if I want to dwell too much on how when your brain is boiling with a fever, you begin to think on your thoughts begin to sink down to my level. Oh no, yeah, that I was reading your message there on that one. Hours and hours of back and forth do tend to put friends on the same wavelength. That was a good stage 2 boss. I got a good pattern, and I think that I used it well. Not no, not performing quite as well as I had hoped, but at least I at least for the time being, I feel like I've had a lot of energy for the stream tonight. Kind of tired and like mildly hazy the past couple nights, and I feel like I got the spring back in my step. So it's good. It's good. If I have to endure a grind. I mean, I kind of was enduring the grind. I was kind of putting myself through that, haunted castle. Oh. Which there will be more of. So I guess I was gonna say if on any night I have to endure a grind, at least I'm feeling good. But I was kind of subjecting myself to a grind on the other nights. But it's alright. It's alright. Homemade chicken soup for dinner? Nice. I really like the idea of chicken soup. I haven't found the, right sort of perfect recipe. For chicken soup for me. I've experimented with it a little bit. Are you okay though, Frownie? I'm good, Sparrow. No complaints. No, I'm fine. I've been in, good health. I've just been, I don't know, just been a little extra sleepy the past few days, but it could be anything from just a changing of the seasons, or who knows. Zergling says my energy level has been really good lately. Been doing things normally make me super tired. We've been kind of having the opposite then. I need to take a break, but I could just keep going lately. I guess if I really think about it, it's probably like because of the like extra daylight making it a little bit difficult, like kind of lessening the quality of my sleep a little bit since I sleep during the day. If I really had to hypothesize about like why I've been feeling so tired. Seasonal depression usually occurs during the winter, which is why I'm slightly concerned for you, because winter is ending. Yeah, winter is my favorite time. Spring is convenient, though. There are a lot of things that Jelly and I want to do around our house that we kind of need the warmer weather for. So, as sad as I am to see the winter go, spring is convenient. Since I can actually go outside and do things. Loose grass and green grass have the opposite effect on me. Yeah, I don't want to be outside when it's hot. Jelly and I want to put together like a vegetable garden, though, and we've been talking about building like a fire pit or a barbecue pit in our backyard. And it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to do those kind of things when there are 3 feet of snow out there, right? Are you a vampire or something, Frownie? I like, whenever I can swing it, I've always liked living on a reverse schedule. When Jelly and I lived in Korea, it was great. Because we were English teachers at like an after-school English academy, and we worked basically from 3 to 10 in the afternoon every day, 3 in the afternoon to 10 at night, and then we'd get off work. You know, we get up at 2, go into work at 3, or be into work by 3. Get done at 10, head out, have dinner somewhere at 11, and then just spend the whole night out in the city. And then when the sun came up, try to be back home by sunrise. fall asleep, wake up at 2 in the afternoon, do it all over again. Didn't see a whole lot of sun, but, you know, that kind of schedule is like... That's the kind of schedule that I naturally gravitate toward, and so it was really nice when we were over there. Because our job and the city accommodated it really well. I've been a bit unfair in my wording, Sparrow says. The truth is I tend to get less sunlight during the summer because 100-degree days over and over means you lock yourself away in the dark and under the air conditioning. I'm guessing the city lifestyle isn't for you anymore, though. It's fine. If so, I have well and truly outgrown it now, it seems. Yeah, I mean... I don't want to give you the impression that our nights out on the city were anything super wild. I was very much then the quiet and crowd averse person that I currently am, but it was nice because everything stayed open and accommodated you all night long, so you could go anywhere and do anything. And I like that about the city. I like that it stays alive all night long. That's the thing I like about city lifestyle, but I'm very happy that I don't live in a large city anymore. I just mean I lived in the city myself, finally got it out of my system before I moved to Germany. It was great, and I didn't make use of it to the fullest. And there are major shortcomings too. When I came back from Germany, I tried to resume that lifestyle and realized it just wasn't for me anymore. I'm playing poorly, but it's like the run's dead, and we've had so many like one death runs, doesn't even matter. I should practice. I have dropped the ball on this stage. I think I'd do much better living in a small town. I did in Germany and it was good. Sorry, let me catch up here. Good sense of community. Haven't tried it in Australia. Oh, there's huge drawbacks to that too. As much as I like this whimsical idea of supporting your local store, knowing people by name, helping people where you can, I'm sure there's a bad side to it all too. Gossip would be one thing. I disagree. I disagree. I would say the more whimsical notions are probably a lot more romantic than realistic. Oh my goodness. Rip. That's so bad. Oh well. Gives me a chance to make up for my really worthless practice of this stage that the last run was. Maybe I clear my head out and do it right. The thing about, so like, you know, I've lived in a lot of, I've lived in a few different sort of like small town, rural type areas. I can't say that it's come anywhere near to like, you know, all the houses being several hours apart that you're referencing. Being that remote might be a bit difficult for me. Comes a sort of edge to the epicenter, and the further you go out, further out you go, the fewer and further it is between some sort of society. By the epicenter, I mean like the capital of the state, or the central business district, or downtown, as I think you'd call it. I get the kind of thing you're talking about, Sparrow. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works in Australia, but I mean, each, most of the states in U.S. have most of the states in the U.S. have a handful of like larger cities, and then spread out in smaller towns scattered everywhere. You typically use you'd use the term like downtown for just the most sort of developed and commercial area of wherever you live. Otherwise, you'd probably just say the city or the country. Because like if I lived in like rural Illinois, I wouldn't think of Chicago as downtown for me. I mean, it's certainly I would just use downtown of whatever my local like commercial area was. I mean, if you lived in if I lived in like if you live in the suburbs of a big city like Chicago, then Chicago would be your downtown. But like whenever like when I like I've like I grew up in a town of like 3,000 people, and pretty, not the small, not the, there are definitely tinier towns, but it's pretty small. And we would use downtown just to refer to like the main strip in the middle of the city where the handful of businesses that we had were. We really wouldn't use that. We really wouldn't use that word very much, but that's what it would call to mind. Mount Gambler's about 250 miles from Adelaide, but to them, Adelaide is still the city. So they have their own infrastructure there and probably never have to think about Adelaide unless they need to buy something from like IKEA or another large store that wouldn't be in Mount Gambler. That's like what? A 4-hour, like 250 miles is like what, a 4-hour drive? 3-hour drive? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but like I would just in my vernacular and my way of thinking, like that's too great of a distance. If I lived in Mount Gambler, it'd be hard for me to think of Adelaide as my as the city for me because it's so far away. It would be a big city, but I would hold it in my head as like probably one of many big cities because most of the places where I've lived, if you were 300 miles, if you were 3 hours drive from one big city, you were probably at least equally close to another big city. If not several. Loyal says, have a great night. I'm going to hit the hay and catch some rest. I'll be lurking. Thanks again for the fun stream. Thank you for being here. Loyal, always appreciate your company. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week. Sleep well. I'm thinking about it now, so I'll go ahead and mention it. Beginning of the week next week, probably going to be a little bit weird. I've got Jelly and I have a couple things going on IRL that are going to potentially mess with the stream. So I'll probably be back on by Tuesday night. But Monday is Monday, maybe Tuesday. Those streams are in jeopardy of cancellation. I'll let you know in the Discord, but I would say don't cancel any. Don't cancel any of your other plans in hopes of the streams happening on those nights. They might happen, but they're less likely. Stack Cat, welcome in. We'll invert the face cam per your request. Gladly, thank you for that. Oh. I don't know the difference between horizontal and vertical. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Loyal. They're truly in the middle of nowhere. Silliest of us. Heard this is a great show now. Welcome in, Mansta. I hope you're doing well. I hope your weekend's getting off to a wonderful start. We've been having a lot of silliness tonight. I'm really struggling. I've had several one death runs at this game, right? I think we had 2 the other night. I've had at least 2 tonight. Maybe 3. I don't know. I've lost count. That's how things have been going for me. I've had so many one death runs that I've lost count of them. They've become meaningless to me. I just can't pull off the perfect run. But I'm sticking with it. I really thought it was gonna happen like close to the beginning of the stream tonight. I thought in the first or second hour we'd be done with this. We'd move on to Battletoads, and there'd be time for like a big chunk of something else even. But this is just not happening for me right now. I think I'll be resetting momentarily too. Still going for the deathless run, Zergling. Happy Good Friday. Thank you, Mansta. Friend came to visit. Went for a walk with the dogs. Had some fresh from the sea. Fish and chips. Was a good day. Wonderful. I don't eat seafood nearly as often as I would like to because Jelly can't stomach seafood. She doesn't like to eat anything that comes out of the ocean. And you know, we don't always have to eat the same stuff, but it's certainly more convenient when we do. Back from my spooky game. I think something's wrong with my brain. I got really bored, Game and Fit says. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Sirac of Lamb as well. Made it home safe and sound. I'm no closer to my goal, Sirac of Lamb. Persephone, welcome in. Thank you for the pistachios. I will enjoy those when it's convenient. Channel point redemptions always have delayed fulfillment when the challenge timer is running. So when I complete the run or I die, I'll certainly enjoy those, and I do appreciate them. But I don't like to pause. I don't like to pause during a challenge, if it can at all be avoided. Seafood's really healthy. Taste is not for everyone though, Game and Fit says. Yeah, Jelly, apparently she ate some, I don't know, out-of-date fish sticks or something when she was a child. She had a really bad experience with some seafood as a kid, and now it turns her stomach to try and eat it. And she's sampled she's sampled a few things here and there. She's made an effort every now and then, but yeah, she just can't stomach it. Had breaded fish and chips, battered fish and chips, poutine, and onion rings. I've never had poutine. I think generally I like battered fish and chips better myself, unless it's catfish. I love deep fried catfish. You had haddock, kind of similar to catfish. I don't think I've ever had that. I can't eat cod anymore. I ate some. Well, I had COVID and very bad things happened, so my body revolts now. I'm sorry to hear that, Persephone. Especially if you enjoyed cod before. I really don't like the, it's a real shame to lose a food that you enjoy. I liked it. Cheap fish that is yummy. I'm trying to think if there's anything that, like... there are tons of foods. There are tons of foods that I'm terrified to try and eat. And that I'm like... that turn my stomach. But I don't know that I can pinpoint the reasons why for any of them. Never been a big fan of cod, Mansto says. I like it well enough. Only ate catfish once when I was in San Antonio and went to a really good Cajun place. There's a restaurant near where I grew up that Cajun style cooking was like their specialty, and that was where we would get the catfish. That's where when I think of deep fried catfish, I always think of this one particular place near where I grew up. They would do catfish specials on Fridays, and they do a pulled pork special on Wednesdays. And both of those are great nights to go. Both of those dishes they did excellently. I guess they're both things that are kind of hard to mess up. Sometimes people wonder why the slow mode is always on the chat. And our slow mode is, you know, it's got a pretty brief cooldown timer. But part of the reason the slow mode is always on is for times like this when I'm on the grind for a challenge run. That's not to say that's not to say that you know, that you're doing anything wrong by talking with me. I love to have people chatting with me. I was just thinking about it because I'm doing such a bad job at keeping up. I always feel a little guilty when I can't read what everyone has to say right away. I don't ever want to take for granted that people have been good enough to keep me company and talk with me. Ooh, I actually jumped at the wrong time there. Glad I didn't pay for it. Oh, nice. You posted some pics in the Discord. Right on. Thank you for sharing, Mansta. Best fish you've had in a long time. Haddock and pollock are probably my faves. I love spicy pulled pork with a good creamy coleslaw. I'm there with you on the pulled pork. Coleslaw isn't something that I can eat though. My fear of condiments. Extends even there. Wait, you don't like ketchup? Why do you have a fear of condiments? So I don't know. I don't know why. I have a dread terror of ketchup. I have a phobia of ketchup. And I like, not, to be clear, I've never been diagnosed. But I don't want to pretend to a condition I don't actually have. But I do mean that. But I do mean that in the clinical sense. That I have an irrational fear of ketchup and most other condiments. Ketchup is like the grand champion of condiments that I'm afraid of, but like it really only like barely edges out a lot of its competitors. And I couldn't really tell you why. I know there was a time when I ate it. Like I have a memory. I have a distinct memory a vivid memory of sitting on the couch when I was a child, like 3 or 4 years old. I was sitting on the couch with my mom and eating Ruffles potato chips and dipping them in ketchup as we ate them. Like, I know there was a time when I ate it, but, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because when I was little and there would be like a horror movie on television or something like that, and it scared me. My parents would say, "Oh, don't worry, it's all fake. They're not really bleeding. It's just ketchup." Maybe my parents telling me that so much, like, fused the two neurons in my brain that now connect ketchup to death. So now I'm terrified of ketchup, like, instinctually. Because it does feel like a primal fear. I'm very uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to sit, like, I can't stand the smell of ketchup. And, like, I don't want to sit at a table where there's a bottle of ketchup. I don't like to be near it. And here's something also that's like a weird part of the equation. My father loves ketchup. My dad puts ketchup on everything he eats. My dad loves ketchup so much you get up in the middle of the night and he'll get a slice of bread and make a ketchup sandwich and eat it. So, like, you would think, like, maybe it's some, like, archetypal, like, Star Wars or Jack and the Beanstalk kind of thing, right? Where every man must overcome his father or something like that. But my dad and I've always had a really good relationship, so I don't know. I don't know why that. It's probably part of the equation, but I don't know why it would be. But we are very opposites in that. We are very opposite in that regard. I'm finally enjoying the pistachios, Persephone, and again, thank you for those. It's such a treat. They are my favorite nut. Roasted, lightly salted. I have to get them with the shells on, because if I got them without the shells, they would be gone. I would inhale them and they'd be gone in no time. A ketchup sandwich, that's quite the carb addiction. It may be, I think it's a struggle meal that became a favorite. I imagine it's something my dad developed a taste for, like, back when he was just heading out on his own, and having to make, when you have to make some interesting decisions to pay the bills. I don't really know. This is all imagined. I don't really know what the lore is. Sparrow said, I'm finally going to catch up on some of the chat. Sparrow said, it's got to be salmon first and foremost to me. I'm basically a bear. I love salmon. It's really about looking for all the best local stuff I find, Mansta says. Right on. Uh-oh. I hope that wasn't condiment sending. That's a rough circling. I admire the effort, but boy, that's rough. I have no hope of pronouncing that phobia that you put in the chat there, Game and Fit. I'm assuming that's the clinical term for someone who has a fear of ketchup. I'm the opposite. I bathe things in ketchup. Really like the Heinz hot and spicy ketchup with Tabasco, Mansta says. Does that translate to not being good with blood, as in having your blood taken for testing and stuff? I don't know, Sparrow. The thing is, when I have my blood taken for testing, I always just look away. And it's like, I don't know if watching my blood being drawn would make me woozy, but I figure why watch it? Well, like, why watch it anyway? I'm glad my mom kept me away from horror movies, Mansta says. I had an irrational hatred of eggs for a long time, Zergling says. Rebelling against your parents, yeah. That's my rebellion. I refuse to eat ketchup. I really like the flavored pistachios. I've tried those a few times. I kind of prefer just the plain myself, but you know, they're not, the flavored ones aren't bad. Let's ante up and put ketchup on the wheel of scorching. That's the fear of condiments. I'm afraid of most condiments. There are a few that for whatever reason I can eat. Like, I can eat most things that are labeled steak sauce or barbecue sauce, but like no mustard, no relish, no mayo, no ketchup. It's illogical and inconsistent, and there's no way to explain, right? It's illogical and inconsistent. There's no way you're gonna work out like what's on the good list and what's on the bad list so far as condiments. It's just easier to say that it's all condiments, just round up, because I cannot justify myself. It's just like with cheese. Like, I'm terrified of cheese, but like, in a lot of instances. But like, yeah, I'll eat a cheeseburger and I'll eat a pizza, and so like, then I'll say like, well, it's really, I don't like cheese and pasta together, and I don't like cheese and produce together. So like broccoli and cheese, horrifying. Any sort of like soup that's got like cheese mixed in it or like a cream base, horrifying. But then it's like, alright, so it's cheese and produce, but don't go telling me that tomato sauce on pizza is made of produce, because I'll eat pizza all day long and not think about that and be okay with it. But so like, the rules don't make sense. There are no rules. My food preferences are the Wild West. That's why I live in dread terror of the situation where you meet someone new and they invite you over to eat something they've cooked for you. Like, that's the worst. Because of all my like crazy food preferences, That's the worst situation that can happen to me, because like you know, like a death before discourtesy. I have to suffer through whatever food they prepare for me with a smile on my face. But I have all these crazy bizarro rules that they make me impossible to cook for. We watched a lot of med shows growing up, Sarakablam says. Every time there was a baby birth, we'd try to guess what jam or jelly they used on the baby. We think it was mostly blackberry preserves. I don't think I've ever thought of that, Sarakablam. And unfortunately, I don't know that I'm ever going to not be able to now. It's less painful for me to breathe out when they put the needle in, Game and Fit says. One lady didn't realize this and told me to look away, and I'm like, I'm a lot tougher than you ladies, so just stab me and let's get this over with. Where's the line between sauce and condiment? I blur those lines constantly, Mantis says. Yeah, I have no idea. I thought I was in a different part of the level than I am now. What about blood in video games? I don't know. I don't think I'm like I don't feel like I'm particularly squeamish around blood. Like seeing it in movies and games and stuff like that doesn't really turn my stomach. It doesn't make me feel like lightheaded and woozy. You know, like sometimes like gore and violence in media can make me feel like it can make me feel a little fragile. Like uncomfortable. But with the fragility of my being, but I don't like feel like I'm gonna like faint. Thank you for the wheel, Thrifty. I'll gladly do that again. Let's just wrap up this this run or this life here real quick first. Since we're so close to being out of here. I have an irrational fear of blood, Zergling says. Not like... Oh, well... Not the idea of seeing it, but dwelling on the thought of blood flowing inside of my body. It freaks me out. Certainly says. I could probably make myself uncomfortable reflecting on that, you know, long enough. All right, face cam. Speaking of long enough, oh, this timer should have been reset a long time ago. Face cam has been upside down long enough, so we will return to normal here. A valiant effort, Game and Fit, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to fall for the artificial Wheel of Ketchup redemption. I wasn't even speaking about, like, I wasn't speaking about real gore and violence, Sparrow. Yeah, that I have no interest in participating in. No, I thought it was assumed that I was talking about in fiction. Let's see what happens. It better not land on this truffle sauce again. I'm gonna be furious. Oh, stream is over. The stream is over. I canceled the stream permanently. How in the world have I gotten this garbage 3 times? I'm livid. Oh. That's gotta come off the wheel. That's gotta come off the wheel. I can't, Zergling. I can't damage my honor like that. I have to be true to what the wheel decides for me. But I cannot believe I've landed on that 3 times in a row. It's only in one spot on the wheel. How is that possible? Hey, Jack the Grim, welcome in. What happened? So we got this the wheel of Scorchin. It's got different spicy foods on it, and my least favorite of them is this black truffle hot sauce. And I've landed on it 3 times in a row. Melinda's brand. Black truffle hot sauce. Here we go. I can't believe that. At least it's not ghost pepper. It's just so... It's so musty. It's like the flavor of like a mouthful of cobwebs. Attic sauce. It is. It is. It's like it has the flavor of dust suspended in an attic. The wheel of unhappiness. That's what it should be called right now. Oh. Oh, it got me. It got me. The wheel. I can't believe that. The wheel is weighted. If I were going to weight the wheel Game and Fit, I would have it land on the warheads every time. Alright. We'll get back to the game. They should make a Fear Factor show with people that have unusual phobias. Challenge people to dig through a chest of toothbrushes to find the key to a door. For someone with health anxiety, Sparrow says, take it from me, focusing on any aspect of your health can make you acutely aware of it. Breathing is a good example. The moment you bring it up, it becomes a conscious effort until your mind focuses on something else. There's a sensory deprivation chamber that absorbs nearly 100% of all sound. The room is so quiet they say you can hear the strange sounds your body makes in hyper detail. My goodness. Sounds terrifying, Zergling says. I can't wear noise cancelers too long. I get distracted by my own heartbeat. For a moment, Frownie, I thought she'd put a legitimate entry on the Wheel of Scorchin to end the stream immediately if you landed on it. No, I'm just being dramatic. I'm just being dramatic. Pizza Tower? That explains. I got your Fear Factor comment, Game and Fit. It just took me a moment to scroll back up to it. I'm back. Phone died. Welcome back, Jack. You haven't missed a whole lot. I've just been sitting here chin wagging a little bit, recovering from that unpleasant sauce. You posted a link in the Discord about the room, Soraka Lamb says. Right on. Thank you. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I've heard of Pizza Tower. I would I think I'd check it out, but I gotta wait until like I need them to release it on the Switch. If it comes to the Switch, I'll check it out. It seems like it's supposed to be a lot of fun. On the topic of hearing your own heartbeat, this may amuse people who haven't heard this before, but So I really liked Ghostbusters when I was a kid, right? Like a lot of people my age. Like I saw the movies and I really liked them, and I love the cartoon. But Ghostbusters 2 did something to me because after I saw Ghostbusters 2, and this didn't ever hurt my love for the Ghostbusters. But an interesting thing that happened is I had recurring nightmares about Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2. I would dream. I would dream that I was in my bedroom and he was behind me and he would start to chase me out of my room and down the hallway of my house, and I'd always trip over something and like fall so that he'd be able to catch up with me. But the thing was, I wasn't dreaming about the Vigo the man. I was dreaming about Vigo the painting. I was having nightmares about being chased by the painting. And I would have those nightmares over and over and over again. But here's the thing: is like sometimes when I was laying in bed and I was trying to go to sleep, I would lay there, trying to go to sleep, and it'd be real quiet, and I could hear the sound of my own heart beating, right? But I didn't know what it was. Like I was too young to know that I was hearing the sound of my own heartbeat. So I didn't know what the thud noise was, and I was afraid that it was the sound of Vigo looking for me somewhere in the world. That no matter where he was, I could hear his like quote-unquote footsteps as the painting shuffled from side to side. And like it was like the thuds of the corners of the painting hitting the ground. It's so wild to think about, But yeah, I had that. I don't even know. It feels like I don't even know how long I had that nightmare for. But I feel like I had that nightmare for years. And it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't that long. But it seems to me, thinking back, that I had that nightmare for forever. But I remember thinking about that, and I remember like sometimes I would be like, if I would be sleeping over somewhere at a house that wasn't my own, like if I was sleeping over like my grandmother's house, I'd be like, all right, I'm good tonight, because like I can hear Vigo's footsteps, but tonight, maybe tonight's the night where he's looking for me at my house, and so it's good because I'm not there, so I'm going to be safe because he's checking my house tonight. And then he'll move on to another house tomorrow, and I'll be back, and I'll be safe. Because he won't look at my house then, because he already checked there. Like, I'd be bargaining with myself. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream, Das Jerkface. Pleasure to have you here. What a nightmare factory. You've come in at a very interesting time. Oh, and we got a new follower. Welcome to the stream. Very happy to have you here. Hope you're having a wonderful night, and thank you for coming on board. Poor Frownie, Sparrow says. Donut Dodo is a pretty fun game on Switch. The music in particular is pretty good. What type of game is it, Game and Fit? Is it like a platformer game? Zergling looked into the room Sarek of Lamb was talking about, says definitely not for me. Did you ever see the movie Young Sherlock Holmes? There's a scene in that movie where a stained glass window comes to life and starts to attack. That messed me up as a kid. I've not seen the whole movie, Sir Rack of Lamb, but I know what you're talking about. I think about that when I play Castlevania 64 because there are enemies made of stained glass in that in that game, and they're really cool. The concept is really cool. The enemies actually technically aren't made of stained glass. They're made of the light that shines through the stained glass. It's kind of weird how that works. They're supposed to be made of stained glass, but the way that they spawn indicates that they really should be made of the light. But I overthink that game because I like it so much. That a really good Boogeyman game came out a few years back that was only on PC. I'll probably miss out on that one then. Had a nightmare about the never-ending story, just every bizarre thing about it, which, let's face it, is a lot of things, came together in a dream, and my mind had me believe I was trapped there forever, that the story would never end. I woke up in tears, Sparrow says. I've been lurking for a while. That story just woke me up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt your sleep. Hopefully it was worth it, though. Thank you for the lurk, too. I appreciate you. Appreciate you hanging with us. The only movie that really messed me up as a kid was the Steamroller Scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh yeah, yeah. I know that terrified me as a kid. I had a I don't like remember like having specific nightmares about it, but I know that really got to me as well. As a kid, I always avoided the Neverending Story because I truly believed it was a movie that never ended, so I didn't want to invest my time in it, Game and Fit says. I've never actually seen it, which is a shame because I think if I'd seen it as a kid, I probably would have loved it. I mean, maybe I'd love it now. Spoiler, it ends. Donut Dodo is a arcade platformer similar to Donkey Kong. Could be kind of cool. I do like Donkey Kong. The worst part of it is the song used to come on the radio all the time and it creeped me out. It generally felt like some sort of purgatory, Sparrow says. The steamroller scene, I thought that was hilarious, Zergling says. Lies, there are sequels. Tusk, welcome in. Great to have you here, Ferrum Tusk. Hope your weekend has gotten off to the right start. For anyone who's just coming in, what's up? Why I keep resetting? I'm making attempts for a deathless run of this game. My attempts have been very hit and miss. I've yet to pull off 0 deaths. I've had several runs with a single death, so my PB is really close to deathless. But I'm not there yet, so that's why we keep looping the same game endlessly tonight. I feel like I've gotten I've gotten a really good handle on most of the game. When I'm performing well, I'm fairly confident with every level except level 4. Don't underestimate my capacity for catastrophe. I can blunder at it. I can blunder at any time. and lose even the best of runs to the simplest of mistakes, but when I'm performing at my peak, it's really only stage 4 I'm afraid of. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Nice. This is bad. I'm in bad shape heading into the boss here. Big Evil Gaming, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Hopefully you've made it through and can see and hear us. Welcome to your friends as well. The Journey to Silius grind. Sarak of Lamb says the first one's great, the other two were purely made out of spite because the author was a nightmare to work with. And I tried to stop production of the first movie several times. Just do a 1/4 run and call it deathless. Oh, the way food manufacturers round down on ingredients. Hopefully you would think I have slightly more integrity than a packaging and labeling company. I guess I should have said a marketing department. I know you won't, I was just kidding around. When we did the, when I was on the grind for a deathless no items run of Contra, I stipulated as part of the rule set that I wasn't even allowed to spawn an item on screen. For the no items run, if I saw an item during the run, I had to reset. It's hard to get that one particular enemy to spawn there, but it's worth it to hang out and make sure you do, because he's at just the right height to knock you into that pit as you try to jump across. Oh, yuck. This is going very poorly. Oh, that was bad. I'm very, very close to needing to beg for a health drop. I've not worked out how to get through this area without taking damage either. ABR, welcome in. I hope you are well. Welcome to the deathless grind. Journey to Silius. I've been at it for 5 hours. I thought this was something that was going to take less than 2. Because we did so well on Tuesday. With the two, was it Tuesday? Wednesday. The 2 practice runs on Wednesday were both single death runs. So I thought for sure I'll get the no death run right at the start of the night on Friday. It'll be great. Got to 5 hours later. I'm flailing and blundering over and over and over again. I think Battletoads is starting to feel unloved. I'm not, I still have hope that we're going to be able to do a Battletoads run. I think I'm gonna, I feel like I'm gonna have time and energy for that yet, but I don't know that we'll do anything beyond Battletoads. So I guess it's good that I didn't specify anything. To lose this run, I need to focus. I have a strategy that should never fail in this room. If it weren't for my own human imperfections, that room should, like, theoretically never be a problem. Hey Long, welcome in. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We're still on the grind for the deathless run in this one. I had a couple really good attempts at the start of the stream, but overall it's been a little bit ugly. I've been having a good time. I've had some really good company with me. So like the stream, like I've been having a fun stream, but I've been having bad gameplay. Company is the most important. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? It can help you get through a lot of dark times. It's not going to surprise anyone that I'm saying this, but I could really use a health drop. I could really use a random health drop game. It's a good game, but it feels unfinished in places. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say unfinished, but I would say that it feels a little unpolished in places. Maybe I'm splitting hairs. That was awesome to not take damage from that guy. That was great. Nice. Maybe unfinished was the wrong word. You can do it. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Tusk. know what's wrong with me today. Either I'm getting too old for games or I'm just not playing the right ones. You know, maybe you're just having an off day. Just run through that there. I could have... It's okay. Don't dwell on it. I really like this game. There's a couple parts like where I would say like a little unpolished for the game, because there are a couple parts where it's really difficult to tell if there's any way to get through them without taking damage. And you know, I like to think that I'd like to think that damage wouldn't be forced in a video game. And a high quality one. But it could be just that I haven't seen the right approach, because, to the areas I'm thinking of, because I certainly don't know everything there is to know about the game. Those olives drive me out of my mind. Hey Raiders, welcome in Jay. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate that, Jay. Thank you, and welcome into your friends. We're at the end of a challenge, so I'm not going to look at the chat for a moment. I'm sorry, I normally welcome everyone in individually, and I'm certainly very grateful that you've come in and decided to chat with us, but I must be rude for a moment. Victory! I think that's it. I think that was deathless. We've done it. Time to celebrate, my friends. All right. Oh, that's what the last 5 hours has been about. What a like terrible, ugly, messy, horrific, horrifically unskilled run. But I don't care. We didn't die. That's all that matters. Thank you for the trophies. Thank you for the GGs and celebratory emotes, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. Let me talk to everyone properly now, though. Who do we have? Teddy, welcome in. Good to see you again. And Lobant, thank you for coming along as well. We've got PK Bullet. Welcome in, Bullet. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well, all of you. Jay, tell us, what were you up to, my friend? How did your stream go? Give us the details. I'd love to know what you're up to, my friend. They should make a Mario-themed board game on Clue. So you hear someone say something like it was Wario in Donk City with the blue shell. Nice, Game and Fit. That's a great idea. Today was an off day. Nearly passed out of the grocery store and then threw my back out as soon as I got home. Made some adjustments to get more protein and more calories. I was way under a good level. Take care of yourself, Game and Fit. We want to have you at your, peak performance. The music on this level could be in a Batman game, Long says. I mean, Sunsoft made a Batman game, right? Let's see. Jay says we were playing some Paper Mario, then decided to do a bit of Smash Remix. Right on. Both sound like a good time. I hope you're having fun. I was having stress, Jay. But don't worry, it's a T101. It's an outdated design. Your journey to silliness is now complete, Zergling says. It is. Big Evil, welcome in. Thank you again for the raid. Thought maybe you had to raid and run. Thank you for being here with us. On that note, I'm headed to bed, Sir Rack of Lamb says. Good night/morning, everyone. Good night, Sir Rack of Lamb. Sleep well, my friend, and have a wonderful weekend. Who would be the murder victim in Clue Mario? Wart. It would be Wart. That's why you never see him again after the second game. Mario killed Mario in the pipe with the lead pipe. What a mess. What a mess, Game and Fit. Hey, thank you for the follow, Bullet. Thank you for coming on board. Much appreciated. You're right, Long. And I did think about that. He does make a cameo in Link's Awakening. He does. But you never see him again in a Mario game, right? And he does have a different name. At least in English. I don't know what his name is in Link's Awakening, but I'm pretty sure it's not Wart. All right, my friends, we're going to switch games. We finished Journey to Silius. I don't think there's anything else I really want to do with this game. Now that we have a deathless run, we could, in theory, go for a challenge of deathless, like pistol only, but I don't know. I don't know. I just barely scraped by of deathless. We should just be happy with it at that. But thank you for the GG VR. Thank you. But we're going to switch over to Battletoads, and it won't be a challenge run of Battletoads. I mean, every run of Battletoads is challenging, but we're just going to play through, just a casual playthrough, fingers crossed, and hope we can get to the end. So thank you for standing by me so long tonight, so many of you, because it has been a rough 5 hours for a lot of it. I mean, like again, I've been having fun. I've been having a lot of fun having you here with me, my friends. But gameplay wise, oh boy, it's been rough. But it was all worth it. We got our glorious victory, and now we'll celebrate with we'll celebrate by suffering through some battle toads. Give me just a moment. I gotta switch the cards.